Hello, everybody. Just sitting here having a cup of coffee, doing a little thinking. Thought I'd talk to you about a little topic that's on my mind. Thinking outside the box. You know, as a fisherman, I like to catch fish. Been doing it a long time, since I was a little shaver. And you go through phases in your fishing where you go about trying to catch a fish in a different way, and there's different seasons and all kinds of considerations to take into thought. And I have a really strong gear background, and I'm currently focusing all my efforts in the spey world of fly fishing, which I think I'm going to end up there and stay there for, well, till the good Lord takes me home. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm learning along the way, but my mentalities of fishing along the way are still in the back of my mind. And so I like to take and think about how I can apply some of the certain things that I need to do to catch a fish more often, I guess, is a better word for it, or a better way to put it. So, I've noticed in this fly tying world that there's, well, some would call them the purist, okay? And the purist mindset is, well, the ultimate purist mindset is my way or the highway, and everything else is wrong. Well, I got news for you. It's not wrong. It's just different, okay? And nobody likes a know-it-all. Nobody. I appreciate the fact that somebody wants to do a certain something a certain way and stick with it. But you can leave all that arguing, you can leave all that finger pointing, and you can leave all that vehement dislike wherever you want to put it, but don't bring it to everybody else's world, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So along the lines of trying to be creative, you know, there's probably nothing, I said it before, there's probably nothing we're ever going to come up with on a fly that's not been thought up already. But there's some things I've been doing to some of my flies that are outside of the box, okay? A long time ago, 20 years ago, I worked at a printing company, okay? And this printing company, I was a customer service rep, suit and tie, 9 to 5er. Took care of 15 accounts, worth a lot of money, okay? I'll just say that. I don't know the exact amount. Could have been millions, could have been $1 million, could have been a little less than $1 million, but it was a lot of money. And they sent me to the seminar, and in the seminar, they had this little puzzle that they presented us with. And I wanted to share it with you today because this is right along the lines of where I'm going with this conversation, is how to think outside the box and be creative. Okay? So here is the Connect 9 Dots puzzle. Have you ever seen or heard this before? Okay, here's the puzzle right here. I'll tell you what you need to do. You take a piece of paper and you put 9 dots on it. Connect the 9 dots. Now here's your rules. You can use 4 straight lines and they can only cross one time. Okay? Connect all 9 dots using 4 straight lines, and they can only cross one time. Okay? Now, I'm not going to sit here and let you figure it out because I have the answer. And I want to show you the answer to make my point. It's my personal opinion that all of us need to be more creative in our everything we do in life. Just makes for a better way to go through life. Okay, you ready for the answer? Here it is. Remember, the hint to the answer of the puzzle is think outside the box. All right. Once again, connect the 9 dots using 4 lines, only crossing once. Here's the answer. See that? In order to connect all 9 dots using 4 lines and only crossing once, I had to think outside the box. When they first showed that to me, I sat there for 15, 20 minutes trying to come up with like 700 different configurations to try and do that. And I was thinking inside that box, okay? I really want to encourage you to think outside of that box. You know who's a really good outside-the-box thinker? And I'm thankful for it. And you should be too. Is Jerry French. Jerry French is an outside-the-box thinker. Now, he doesn't get full credit for The Intruder, but guess what? His name's on part of that deal. Okay? For sure. Sitting in the hotel room trying to split ostrich plumes that they stole off the feather duster from the maid. Yeah, it's true. Okay, awesome. So think outside the box, be creative. So I want to show you a few flies that I've been creative with. Now, I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to piss off some people, especially the guys who hate beads, because I got some bead action going on here. Beads, I don't fish a bead. Oh, do we need to get even into this? I don't fish a bead just a bead. Bead fishing is so productive. It's not funny, and it gets a really bad rap from a lot of people. And if you can incorporate a bead into some sort of something you're doing, there's really nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, I've been asked by Jerry French to don't ever have a bead on any of my intruders ever again. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a place and a time for everything, okay? And I like to think outside the box and be creative because it's fun. And guess what? You never know. You just might stumble onto the ultimate fish-eating machine lure, fly thing, whatever you want to call it, and you'll be whaling on fish with it, which is good, okay? Now, we got to take into consideration responsibilities as fishermen. Catch and release is a good thing. I like to eat fish too. I ate a ton of fish. I've ate so many fish that I've made a decision that right now I'm not keeping any fish. I'm not eating any fish. I'm putting them all back. I've had my fair share, let me tell you. Yeah. Okay, let's show you a few flies that I've been creative with. And I'll just say this before I get started. Don't judge me. Okay, here's one. Let's just start off with this one. This is just a little soft tackle fly, right? Oh, no it isn't. How about a bead and a spinner hanging off the back of that thing? Yeah, on some braid. It isn't going to break. It's got a shampoo swivel on there. And let me tell you, this thing in the water looks awesome. I haven't fished it yet, but it looks awesome. There's one for you. Here's another fly. It doesn't have a bead, but it's rigged up a little different. It's just got a shampoo swivel tied in, and then a spinner off the back of that with a little ring on it. Okay, same looking fly. Okay, spinner. I bet you can cast them too. Here's one. Oh, I kind of like this one. Yeah. So I was looking for a way to make a fly look like a crankbait with a bill on it. but you got to be able to cast it and keep it lightweight. So what I ended up doing was I found this material at the craft shop. There's another thing. You can get so creative at the craft shop with all that stuff in there that's not fly tying equipment. That's dirt ass cheap. Okay, see that? See that material in the body there? I just extended it over the hook and took some glue and folded it all back. And now, that baby's got a bill on it. Okay? And it's hard as a rock because I put the UV glue on it. And when this thing's in the water, it does this. Right on. Oh, guess what? It has a bead on the back too, by the way. I think it's hilarious myself. A lot of people come against me for my way, but I'm telling you, I'm going to fight it every bit of the way. Because I just don't think it's wrong to tell a man that he's doing something wrong when he's not doing something wrong. Okay? It's not wrong. It's just different. It's okay to be different. All right. Okay, here we go. John Hazlitt. John Hazlitt, the innovator of the... Hope that doesn't pop up on my screen. Sorry. The innovator of the Deuce Wiggalo and the Dirk Wiggler. Okay? Do you know where he got his ideas for those two flies? He actually has patents on those, and he gets paid... every time somebody buys one, he gets a certain, I don't know what they call that, when he gets checks in the mail from when they sell. Okay? His name is on them. He got them from bass baits, from buzz baits and spinner baits. That's where he got his inspiration for the Deuce Wiggalo and the Dirk Wiggler. Here we go. Here is the Deuce Wiggalo. Okay? Fly. Beads. This is not rubber, but it's, you know, the stretchy legs, silly legs. It's not silicone rubber. It's the other thing. Can't remember the name of it right now. Anyway, came from the bass fishing industry. John Hazlitt. Okay. Dirk Wiggler. Same thing. Oh, what do you see in the back there? That would be a bead. Oh my goodness. Don't freak out. Dirk Wiggler, also inspiration from the bass fishing industry. Wonder if you knew that. Okay, here's one. I like this one. I started getting into the trout spay game. I got myself a 4-weight Redington Hydrogen and having a blast with it for summers, steelhead. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to tie some small, super small, sparse, tiny little number 4. That's actually, I think, on wire, isn't it? No, it's braid. Anyway, what's so unique about that? Well, I'll tell you what's unique about that. It has a tiny 1-inch plastic crawdad hanging out the back of it. Okay? And it can be, you can throw this, I'm telling you right now, it's super lightweight. Look at that thing swinging. You can't tell me if you put that in front of a fish's face, he's not going to eat that. Okay? That's a good idea. I like this idea. Okay? Creative thinking is good. Alright, here's another one. This is a Keitech swim bait tail that I cut down, way down, and just put it off the back on a streamer type hook situation. Okay? See that? Do you realize what that's going to look like in the water? Awesome. Okay? Swing that. Okay, how about this one? This is creative use of materials. This is like a ultra squid looking fly that I tied to Jerry French Inspiration. But here's what I did. Can you see? Let's peel some of this stuff back and I'll show you. Do you see the rubber? There we go. See, I left the rubber tabs on the end as paddles. I didn't snip them off completely at the end and have a nice clean piece of rubber. I did that on purpose so that when it gets into the current, it flutters better, or different. I don't know, something different about that fly than any other fly that's gone through the hole because you were the creative thinker. Now remember, I was talking about it yesterday in a lot of my videos and the day before even. Action creates a trigger, okay? The trigger is what you're trying to get that. You want that fish to trigger. You want it to key in on your creative difference, and then you want it to be triggered because the difference was there, okay? You can swing flies on certain days. You know as well as I do, the fish are just, it doesn't matter what you put in front of their face. You can put a bare hook in front of their face, they're going to eat it. But there's other days when they're finicky, they're acting weird, they're just not, you know the fish are there, but they're not biting. You got to do something different. You got to do something creative to create that trigger, okay? Catch more fish. All right, here's another one. This is the use of a swing fly. Okay, I'll show you the fly here in a minute. But look, I've got a soft plastic bead with a steelhead colored worm on it, but it's on a shank. Okay, once again, I'll bet you there's some people cringing in their seats right now watching this. Because you can't, no way. Are you kidding me? I think you guys need to loosen up your underwear a little bit, drink some coffee, go fishing, catch some fish. All right, a couple more. Oh, how about the articulated intruder? This is an articulated intruder. It's not a shank. It's two small shanks tied together. This baby swings like no tomorrow on the tail. Okay, that's awesome. I think. Yeah, that's going to get murdered. Here we go. How about those little fuzz balls that you use for steelhead fishing instead of tying on a bump with dubbing? Okay. Oh my goodness, there's 2 beads on this one. And this is just sparsely tied on a great big long shank with just rhea and a few pieces of flash. It actually came out looking pretty good. I bet you this gets murdered as well. I'm going to save the best for last. These two are probably the best for last. This is an interesting one. Okay, so I went to the Rogue on the Fly Spayclave, and there was a gentleman there, and for the life of me right now I can't remember his name. But he was tying these tube flies. Okay, there's a tube fly. But he's tying them in reverse because what looks like to you right now is the head is not. It is the tail. But it's tied that way in the vise so that when it gets into the water, there's the head. There's the pink cone head. Look at that. See the pink cone head? Right. When it gets into the water, those shoulders are so broad with that thing, and it folds over itself backwards, that the profile is just out of this world. A reverse tied tube. Though I would have never thought of that if he didn't first and shared it with me. Okay. I'll bet you if you put this on a smallmouth bed, yes, I throw lures onto bedded fish and catch the fish and put it back. Yes, I do. I did that for years. Probably wouldn't do it now, but I did it for years. And people do it all the time. You put this fly right here with 2 rubber legs out the back, a double-tailed twister. I am here to tell you that there is no bass in the world that will not munch this thing into next week. Okay? And it's light enough and small enough that it can be cast as well. It's not like it's a big old bulky heavy duty thing. Here's what I came up with last week, and it's a smaller version. Yes, that's a black stonefly hanging off the front of a small, tiny intruder tied on a shank with some rubber legs and a couple pieces of jungle cock. All right? Think outside the box, folks. See that? Think outside the box. This is the best of both worlds. If you're a nympher and you want to swing, but yeah, I'm a nympher, or you're a swinger and you used to be a nympher and you want a nymph, but you want to swing, guess what? You throw this one, you'll feel really good, let me tell you. You'll be like, oh, I got best of both worlds going on here right now. And once again, I believe this gets murdered too. Okay? Couple more and then we're done. All right. This one, double set of jungle cock. One is real and one is fake. And it's got a bead on it. Oh my goodness, a bead. Another bead. All right. This just looks like a regular old fly, right? It's a tube fly. Nice looking tube fly. Got some copper legs and all that in there. But guess what? Looky there. You see what that is? Let me hold it up a little better. That is a very thin, soft plastic hellgrammite tied into there. And let me tell you, that baby's got some wiggle that'll make you giggle. Right there. And it's castable. And it looks great. I even put a couple of my homemade ultra shrimp eyes, or shrimp eyes on it. Okay? All right, best for last. I had fun with this one. This is really fun. Okay, so it's just a sculpin pattern, right? Okay, cone head, little olive tail, everything, to open that baby up. Nice composite loop on the front. This baby's tied well. It looks great. That in and of itself is really good fly to be swinging. But do you see that spinner on there? You know what that's made out of? That's sticky reflective tape that you put on spoons. I've done two pieces exactly the same, stuck them together, and then I put a hole in it, and I put it on a shampoo swivel, and it's hanging there on a 50-pound piece of braid. And trust me, this looks great in the water, and it doesn't hang up, and the only thing I haven't proved with this is that it doesn't catch fish. Okay, that is the big question for all this. Do these catch fish? All right? You never know unless you go, and you never know unless you be creative. Hey, get out there, take your creative thoughts and your creative flies. Don't be afraid of what other people think. It's okay to be different. Think outside the box. Okay? All right, I got to go feed the chickens. We'll talk to you later. Remember, tight lines, shoot straight, and keep your gunpowder dry.